this is gonna work, but we're gonna fucking give it a whirl. Nope. Give me a second. Anyway, we're gonna try and put this shit back together real quick. And I know it's been a while since you guys have seen me. And if you guys have any questions or anything while I'm on here, feel free to throw them out there and I'll try and get to them. A couple new people just came in. If you guys have any questions while I'm here, what's up, Digital Era? Like I said, I know it's been a while since y'all seen me, and I'm going to try and answer some questions while I do this. Just thought I'd bring you guys along, taking out the old trusty ZR800s and putting something else in new that I have yet to disclose. And if you guys see it, feel free to name it. It's not a big secret. I am going to find a way to see if I can prop this up somehow. What's up, guys? Speakers! What? So we're going to be throwing these in. Got a little dust on my enclosure here. It wasn't quite big enough from the ZR800s, so I had to cut it out a little bit bigger. And let's see. There we go. This way I can look at the screen while I do this. That way if you guys have any questions or anything, like I said, feel free to throw them out. And trying to get them answered for you. What am I putting in? Well, that is the big secret, isn't it? I'll show you a quick sneak. Well, I already showed you one little quick sneak peek. We'll put in another little quick sneak peek. And see if you guys can guess it. In 2 seconds. They are 8s. That's what the manufacturer labels them as. And, well, for all intents and purposes, that's what they are. Got any ideas, Digital? Nope, not Morel. Although the MW9 is by far one of my favorite drivers out there. They are pretty fucking boss when it comes to mid-bass. And they do lots of it, and they do it really well. Think much cheaper. Much cheaper. This is something that came in a Parts Express box. Well, I do guess Parts Express sells Morel, so good guess. Massive? No. Alright, well maybe the word cheap wasn't such a great idea. Nope, not CT. Give you guys a little hint. It goes with that little guy. What do you think of that? Changing out the ZR800s. One of the best mid-bass out there on the market today. And I'm putting in some fucking Dayton. How's that make you feel? Yeah, nice. Well, I hope so. We're going to see. I've actually never heard they're the RS225s, not the 180s that most people run. I know the 180s can be a little lacking on mid-bass, no matter what people say, but old school, yeah, it is pretty much old school. And whoop, there you go. So Made sure it fits. Run some fucking wires through here. Yeah, the on paper, the ZR800s have a little bit more excursion and whatnot. Oh, sorry, homies. The ZR800s have a little more excursion. However, the 225s have more sensitivity, and most importantly, they have more sensitivity much down lower in the passband that I'm using them for. And not only that, but the ZR800s are made to work. When I originally built this truck, I was looking for to put them in my doors, and needless to say, they didn't fit for a fucking thing. And basically, I would have had to take everything. Where you at? Yep, my truck's a mess. I live in the fucking real world. Basically, I'd have to take everything from here all the way around to here and remold the entire fucking door panel. So I really didn't want to do that. Basically, even with a build out behind the grill, it still would come out and hit the grill before it hit the window back there. So at the time, I had some buddies helping me build well, damn near this whole truck. So yeah, too much work, exactly, dude. So I had a couple buddies helping me, and we did the kick pods, the dash pods. I'll show you those here in a minute. Half the sub, pretty much all the wiring for the Helix and the 3 amps in the back, and half the sub box in a day. All fiberglass, all molded, everything. So with that being said, like, we knocked a lot of shit out in a short period of time. So I wasn't willing to sacrifice their hard work, right? Yeah, like I said, I had a couple buddies help me. They're really good friends, and they're freaking awesome when it comes to installing and fabrication. I'll be the first person to say it, dude. I am not a fabricator at all. I can tune. At least I like to think so. I like to think I have a good ear. But when it comes to installing, that is not me, dude. Not me. So I am not afraid to ask for help when I need it. I don't know everything. If you ask me something that I don't know the answer to, I'll try and find out. But I'm not going to sit there and blow smoke up your ass just to give you an answer and make me seem like I'm smart. Awesome, dude. Who was that? Digital Era said that he really liked the tuning videos. They're golden, and he's never had his system sound so good. Fucking rock on, dude. That's what I like to hear. I've got to hear actually a couple people that used my videos, and they went, and I got to hear him at a competition I was judging, and he said it was his first competition ever, and he had no clue how his system sounded. I got in, I listened to it. It was pretty fucking spot on. It really was. Cool, dude. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I said, I got to listen to his video, or to his video, his car, and it sounded really freaking awesome. So that's the first one in there. I think my hand's in the way. There you go. That's the first one in there. I have to redo that a little bit to fit it, but it's in. It's hooked up. So let's go move on to the other side and see what we can do over there. What's up, guys? A bunch of new people just joined in. So, what's up? I'm putting some new speakers in. I took out the ZR800s and we're putting in, grab the box for y'all. Dun, 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 Dayton Audio. Moving from the ZR800s, hopefully up to the Daytons, the RS225P-4A. And again, they model better, especially for down lower in the mid-bass area where we're using them. The ZR800s were great, but they just really like to be in a big door. They're made for an infinite baffle type enclosure, and I just don't have that option right now. So until I move these to my doors, which very well could be coming in the future. Paul, I don't know what's going on. I keep saying message retracted, so I don't know what you're saying, but it's not coming through. But so anyway, these are made for more the Hertz high energy components. That's a mixed feeling. I tried out. Is the high energy the one right below the Milli, whatever they are? Is that those ones? Yeah. So I tried out the 6.5s in the Legacy when I had it that you guys saw, and I tried it in. I tried out the 6.5s and the 3s, and the 6.5s were amazing. They really were. They really hit it pretty spot on with those. They had really good impact. The transients in them was freaking phenomenal. They weren't quite as good as the SB acoustics that I changed them out to, but the 6.5s are really good. Luckily, I have a buddy, and I got a really good deal on them. But so I got those and the 3-inch that I was talking about, the high energy ones, and to be completely honest, I hope they've changed something with them, because they sucked really bad. The transients in them was really good, but the tonality of them was absolutely terrible. I don't know what it was. Raul says, thanks for the videos, biggest help ever. Awesome, dude. I'm really glad. That's what I like to hear. That's why I do it. I just like to help people out. Yeah, so the 3-inches, dude, they were terrible. They really were. Oh, yeah. Step into a Slim Jim. The tonality of them, like, at 400 hertz, if I remember right, at like 400 hertz, they were down like 8 or 10 decibels. And then at 500 hertz, they were up like 8 decibels on the RTA. And that was after I tried tuning them. Granted, at the time, I didn't have a full-on processor. I just had the 80 PRS. But I couldn't do anything with them. I tried tuning them to no avail. Had a couple other buddies help me, and no one could get them to sound good. No, they just, whatever it was with them wasn't working at all. I highly doubt it was the enclosure, because they were mostly just free air in the dash. So I don't think that could have anything to do with it. So I've heard of a couple other people having issues with them as well. And Yeah. Now, if I remember right, a year, 2 years ago, something like that, someone had said something about let's see if I can prop y'all up here. Someone had said something about them redoing them. So, liked them over the Miele 6.5s. Yeah, I mean, just because something costs more definitely does not mean that it's better, especially in your application. I.e., take for example, ZR800s to Dayton Audio. Dayton is really, I don't want to use the word cheap because they're definitely not cheap. Where'd that other one go? You look at the ScanSpeak. I'll set that right there for you. And those are about $100 a piece. The tweeters and the mids to blend any tips. Yes, play with the crossovers. Generally, I like 24 dB 24 dB Linkwitz Riley crossovers. It keeps everything more phase coherent that way. But where do you have them crossed at? Like 3K, 4K, 6K? I don't know if you have a 2-way or a 3-way, but let's see what he says. And there's the Daytons right there. So if you look like a 2-way, so probably somewhere around between 2 and 4K, I would imagine. Play with it, just going up and down. Also try changing your crossover, and if you have it at 2K, bring it up to 3.5, see what that does to it. On the other end of it, try different crossovers. Try a 12 dB and a 24 dB on the tweeter and mid. Just play around with it, see what that does for it. Also try separating them if you need to. Don't be scared to do that. Not very often will you have to overlap them, especially if you're using 24 dB or steeper crossovers. But yeah, just play around with your crossover mostly and see what that does for you. Music or pink noise? Music. My first inclination is to say music. But you could definitely try it with pink noise. When you look at it, how do you know when it's blended properly? So he's asking, how do you know when it's blended properly? A, it's going to sound right. But B, look at the RTA and make sure there's no major dips or peaks anywhere in there. That's going to be your first hint that something's not right. You're going to either have huge peaks or huge dips. Usually a big dip if it's in the crossover area, unless you're doing something wrong or something's really wonky. Yeah, definitely play with the crossovers and see. Yeah, look at it on the pink noise first, especially if you're still learning, and that'll give you the quickest answer for when stuff's playing well together or not. And then obviously the big test is to look at it on, listen to it with music. Sorry, I lost the speaker, so I'm trying to figure out what happened to it. Listen to it with music and see where it's going with that. So, let's see. Goodbye, ZR800s. Hopefully these Daytons do a little better with it. Hey, I found the other speaker. Look at that. All you gotta do is clean your shit up and you'll find it. Digital Air did that. Have a two-way. Jorgub Hansen. Anyway, did that help you guys out at all? Have you guys tried that? Playing with the crossovers, slopes, moving the crossovers up and down to see what that does with them. I said, I don't know what you've tried it and what not. I tune per JBL curve, but they seem quiet. The easiest way when I'm tuning a car to know if it has too much or too little mid bass, and again, you're probably going to hate the answer to this, but listen to it. It should sound full and rich, but there should be no muddiness or breakup to it. One of the biggest indicators, I'm going to set y'all down real quick. One of the biggest indicators that something's not right is either A, you have no kick, no punch. Give me a second, Digital. You'll have no kick or punch to it. But at the same time, if you listen to a stand-up bass, it's going to have, there's going to be no, oh shit, how do I put it? There's one. When you listen to a song and a bass comes in, whether it's like an upright bass or digital bass, whatever it may be, and the whole car gets that little whoa sound to it, that's too much. And ideally, you want to turn it down just enough to where that's not there, basically. Just keep turning it down till you just don't have enough, or not, I shouldn't say not enough, but just until that point's not there. And that's usually pretty damn close to the right amount. You can do the same trick with bass. It works pretty much the same way. And it's just kind of the trick of finding that little happy medium. Anything under about 400 hertz is a crapshoot in an RTA. So you can't really time it. Can't really do it with an RTA very well in the mid bass area. It's under the Schrodinger frequency, and based on the standing waves in the car, the RTA can't pick them out enough to where your ears can. So it's kind of a crapshoot under that point, like I said. Digital, thanks Kyle, did. Can you time align without adjusting power levels, i.e. centering the image? Yes, absolutely you can. And I remember talking about that in one of my videos, and I can kind of expound on it a little bit right now and see if that helps you. And let me get this put in here. But basically, if right here's your center image, right, this is where I'm talking from. If you're over here, when you're adjusting the time alignment, you'll be able to hear, especially the S sound in someone's voice. That's it'll be in phase, and then as you're clicking over the time alignment, it'll be out of phase, out of phase, out of phase, and then in phase, and then out of phase, out of phase, out of phase, in phase. And you want it to be, you want the same power output from the driver's position, basically, volume-wise. And then once you got that, you can time align it to that center image. Now, it's a little bit of a dancing trick. Gotcha, this is my first SQ-ish build. I have no point reference. So I've never heard another SQ build in person. That is definitely a setback. Someone's calling me. That's definitely a setback or a disadvantage, but it's not. It's also not uncommon. So you can do. See if you can get even just a halfway decent pair of headphones. A lot of them nowadays sound pretty good for even 30, 40, 50 bucks. And that'll give you a fairly good reference point. If you have an RTA, what we talked about, so you guys, so you want your bass to be about 10 to 12 dB higher, drop down to about 160 hertz, and then basically flat over to 2K, and then have it kind of roll off on the top end. And that'll give you a good starting point for where to do that. And then from there, it's just finding out where everything is, where everything's lined up together. Huh? Yeah. I gotta go put the dogs out. Be right back. So, if I could find that screw that I dropped, we'd be in business. So anyway, does that make any sense at all about moving the center image? You need to make sure your levels are right, and then worry about time alignment and getting them to be in the same space, centered up image. Look at that. That's the bottom of my pods right there. Yep. And yep, that's a giant hole in the bottom of them that basically vents down into the dash. And that helps it stay nice and open. I lost a fucking screw. Got it. You guys have any other questions? Anything getting upfront bass, or how to time align, how to know when your stuff's right, how to know when it's wrong, anything like that? I lost some fucking screws. Look, missing a fucking screw. Well, do what anyone would do. Go get another one. All right, well, couldn't find another screw. They're, I think, inside somewhere. But talk about that upfront bass. Don't have a helix. My sub sounds up front at lower levels, moves to the rear when you turn up too much. Is that normal? Yeah, that is pretty normal. Mostly because the bass starts hitting the back of your seat and vibrating, and that automatically tricks your brain into thinking that it's behind you because that's where you're feeling it from. So, one way to do it, if you do have either a helix or a processor, if your sub's crossed over, say 60 hertz, take it and play like a 60 hertz tone. You can get them on YouTube, or if you just want to stream it, download it, whatever the case may be. And basically, if you're sitting here, you'll feel, or you're here, the sub be like right here, and then as you move the time alignment, you'll be able to see it come forward, 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 up, and then it'll start pulling back. That's one way to do it. Another way is to, with the RTA, flip your sub out of phase and watch, what the fuck this is, watch your RTA, and you'll see the base of that 60 hertz start going lower and lower and lower as you're adjusting the time alignment. When it gets to the lowest point and it starts moving back up, go back down to where it was the lowest on the RTA and flip it back in phase, and it'll be really, really close to up front. So that's another way to do it. I don't know if that makes sense at all. There you go, little bastard. Damn. So another little trick you guys can do that I've done with my car, I haven't really advertised it. I think it helps. So you can go out and you can get yourselves one of these dash mats, right? Mine has wood shavings all over now. MDF, whatever you want to call it. That in itself doesn't help a whole lot. It does make a noticeable difference, but it's not going to be like life-changing. You can go get yourself the Boom Mat under carpet padding, which is what you guys saw on the inside the pods. And by the way, I need to redo them in black. The carpet under here is actually gray, but so I ordered some gray carpet to match it, and not thinking that the trim around it was black, and my floor mats are black that are really dirty. So everything down here is black except for the fucking pod. So fuck me, right? But anyway, that's the passenger side down there. There's the passenger side mid. Yep, still missing a screw. I'm gonna have to go get that. This one's missing 2 screws because these have 6 screws where the Scan 10Fs had 4 screws. And then, yeah, right. And I got a box of screws. I got like 3 boxes of these screws somewhere, and I have no freaking clue where they are. I think a couple of them are at my work. Anyway, I'll have to take a brush and get that MDF out of there. I just ran them in there. And then there's the Morel tweeters over here. So that's what it looks like when it's closed. So we're going to take this wire, shove that back down into the dash. Not easiest thing to do with a jacket on. I hate jackets, but it's like 35 degrees outside. And there you go. It sits in there. I got to retweak. Dash mat. Oh, so anyway, the under carpet padding I was talking about. Sorry, ADD. I went ahead and cut it to fit on the underside of here, and that actually has helped absorb a lot of the reflections that you get bouncing between the dash and your windshield. So Jorgub says, I was just on my time alignment, but frequencies seem to pull to one side, the rest seem to center up. What do I need to do? Okay, that's actually, it's fairly easy in itself. Basically, you just need to go into your DSP or whatever you have. Hopefully you have a DSP, otherwise you won't be able to do a whole lot to it. And play the 31 band Pink Noise tracks. I think I may have put up a link to them, I don't remember. and play each frequency so they're centered up. And you'll notice like 160, 200, and then it'll be like 125, 160, and then 200's over here. Take your 200 P6. Yeah, so you got it. Obviously, if 200's over here to the left, you just need to bring it over and take note of the frequency before it. So if 160 and then 200 was off to the left, I think that's backwards for you guys. But link doesn't work anymore. Please update. Okay, I'll see what I can do with that. If 200 is louder than the frequency before it, then and that's just listening with your ear. If it's louder, then lower the left side, unless the right side is noticeably louder, but try lowering the left side to bring that over. Some people say you need to lower the left and raise the right in equal amounts and blah, blah, blah. It's bullshit. The only thing that does is if you already have the exact tune that you like, that works for that. But other than that, it doesn't work that way. So it is what it is. But yeah, basically you just need to go through your 31 band pink noise. What I do is I go driver by driver. So my mids right now are crossed from 250 hertz to 4K, and I'll play pink noise all the way from 50 hertz all the way up to 1620K. And the reason for that is even if they're crossed at 250 hertz, that doesn't mean it's not playing 220. So everything under that needs to be lined up to center as well. So you don't have out of band frequencies not centered up. And that's where you really get that fine tuning is your out of pass band tuning for your left right EQ. And that'll make a big difference in really solidifying that rock solid center. The other thing that I do is I'll take, I don't know if I have somewhere in here, I got some electrical tape, but I find my center image where I want it to be. Say it's right here, middle of the dash, right? I don't know if you guys can see. So middle of the dash, but from the driver position. So anyway, I'll take a piece of electrical tape, black electrical tape, red, whatever, and just put a little piece right here. And when I'm listening to that 31 band pink noise, either it's on that tape or it isn't. And it really is just that simple. Like I said, either it's there or it's not. If it's not there, adjust it till it is. If it's louder, try bringing down one side, the side that is, so if the left side's louder, bring down the left to move it over to the right. And that'll really help you guys out, the left to right. And obviously in pass band, it has to be done correctly. But, so that's how you get that nice tight center image. For SQ setup, what should people look for when picking drivers and amps? I know prices and everything. Honestly, price is definitely not everything. I have some Zapco amplifiers in the back, 3 of them. Yeah, 3 of them. And it's, the ones I have retail for like $200 a piece. They're not bad at all. They do really well in all the testing. I've definitely hammered on them, and they do way more than I would think for the price point. I highly recommend them. But amplifiers are not going to be your big one. As long as you're not getting something really, really cheap, it's probably going to be fine until you get to that really high level where it does matter. As far as drivers go, so like these ones down here, they are like a fifth of the price of the ZR800s, but they work a lot better in smaller enclosures. So for me, hopefully, the reason I bought them, we're going to find out here in a few minutes, they should have a lot more mid-bass than the ZR800s in my application because they work better in the enclosures that I have. If they were in the doors, like I was talking about before, if they were in the doors, then that's a completely different story, and the ZR800s may be better. So better is not only subjective to sound, but also highly, highly dependent on your application. Paul said the 31 band pink noise was really crucial in my tune. It really helped me the image from shifting and kept the stage dead center. The absolute phase track helped as well. Yeah, all that. Thanks. Like I said, I really appreciate it. So that is one way.
Thousands of the best radio stations from across the country.
I'm gonna go shut this other door, and we're gonna see if these have any more mid bass. I basically kept the same tune that I had before, and that way I can do a really quick test to see if they had either A, more, or B, less mid bass, because that's what I've been struggling with on this. Those ZR800s just did not like. Oh shit. They definitely did not like those really small enclosures, and I had to tune the out of them in order to get them to do anything that I wanted them to. Or not anything, but to be passable, basically. You know what I mean? So we're gonna see real quick. Oh, that is not the CD that I want. So, does that make sense about the center image? Who was that, digital? So, anyway, I'm going to play around with this and see. If you guys liked the live stream, and that way you guys could ask questions in real time, let me know in the comments. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll try and do it more in the future. It's a lot easier to do than trying to sit there and edit a video and upload it and everything else. So I'm going through my discs. That'll work. So anyway, like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments. And Raul says 3 thumbs up. Fuck yeah. You guys want SQ? Whoa. From New Orleans, Preservation Hall Jazz Band. I got like the 6 disc set. And it was basically recorded really well, but also it's really true to the source. You can definitely hear the room reflections and everything. Definitely a big help. Thanks, Allie. I appreciate that. Here we go. I know you guys won't be able to hear it, but I will.
Come forward. That's all about.
So far, definitely more mid-bass than the ZR800s. 1-to-1, same enclosure, everything else.
It's enough, God damn it. It's
when you do your, when I do my next tune, yeah, probably. It's definitely something I can do. Like I said, it's a whole lot easier to do this than trying to plan out an actual. Oh shit! I don't know if you guys can see that. I can definitely do a live stream when I do some more tuning. Like I said, that's not a big deal. And like I said, it's easier to do. I don't know if you guys could see, this was moving and it really wasn't even turned up very loud. So right now, these 225s are fucking hammering. So hopefully I'm like these better than the ZR800s in my application. Yeah, I dropped the oh shit. It came. It happened. So anyway, I got to get out of here. We're going to get to a movie with the family. We're going to go watch Jumanji. So anyway, I appreciate it, guys. And hope you guys have a good one. Thanks for hanging in with me. I'm glad I could answer any questions you had. Hopefully it helped out. So I will catch you all on the next side. And yep, see you guys later, man. Have a good one.